Money doesn't sprint toward Capricorn. It studies their footsteps, listens to their breath, and learns the rhythm of their resolve. There's a particular stillness inside the Capricorn heart, a granite quiet that refuses to be rushed. Where other signs chase glitter, Capricorn collects stone, layer by layer, promise by promise, until a mountain rises where there used to be only open sky. Wealth, to Capricorn, is not a lottery ticket. It is the soft accumulation of integrity, the patient stacking of days that keeps a roof above rain and a fire alive in winter. Secret 1. Sacred ambition. Capricorn's ambition is not ego dressed in a suit. It is devotion in work boots. The goat is drawn to high ground not because it wants to be seen, but because it wants to see clearly. Sacred ambition converts desire into duty, fantasy into plans, and plans into daily vows. When Capricorn whispers a vow to themselves, "I will return to the desk. I will learn the skill. I will keep the promise," money hears that vow echoing through the halls of time and begins to walk in that direction. Because capital follows credibility, and credibility is Capricorn's native tongue. Secret 2. The alchemy of time. While the world is seduced by shortcuts, Capricorn courts time like a lifelong partner. They respect seasonality, the lean months that sculpt muscle around the spirit, the harvest months that reward those who didn't break faith in February's frost. Time with Capricorn becomes an ally. Compounding is not just a finance term, but a spiritual law. Small acts done faithfully become gates through which abundance must pass. Capricorn knows that yesterday's discipline is today's dividend, and today's dividend is tomorrow's freedom quietly arranging a chair at the table. If the spiritual backbone of these words is waking something steady inside you, consider subscribing to Signs and Secrets so this kind of guidance finds you exactly when you need it. We explore the deeper rhythms beneath astrology, and your presence helps us keep this lantern lit.
Secret 3. The Cathedral of Structure. Capricorn attracts money by building habitats where prosperity can breathe. Budgets, calendars, routines, these are not cages to Capricorn. They are cathedrals. A schedule is the stained glass through which sunlight turns into color. A boundary is the door that keeps the wind from blowing out the flame. When a Capricorn arranges their life like a monastery, clear hours, clear tasks, clear rest, money feels safe to enter. It knows where it will sleep, when it will be fed, and how it will multiply without panic. Behind every Capricorn who quietly becomes an overnight success, you'll find years of invisible craftsmanship. The projects left unfinished elsewhere get finished here. The promises other people overexpose for applause are kept in Capricorn's shadows until they are strong enough for daylight. In a culture that worships the announcement, Capricorn worships the continuation. They understand that gold is not discovered, it is refined, and refining is a repetition of heat and cool until the metal stops lying. Secret 4. The gravity of responsibility. Many people want freedom. Capricorn wants trust. They volunteer for the task no one wants because they can smell where responsibility hides the key. Money is strangely maternal around true responsibility. It arrives to support the one who supports others. When Capricorn becomes the person everyone can depend on, the one who shows up in the storm, who answers with clarity instead of drama, wealth feels magnetized. It recognizes the steward who will not throw it at empty hunger, but will assign it to meaningful work. Here is the quiet confession many Capricorns share only with the ceiling at night. I was scared once. I still am sometimes. Scarcity might have knocked loudly at their childhood door. Chaos may have slept in the next room. Capricorn didn't learn stability from textbooks. They learned it like an instrument, practicing on days when the strings were cheap and the fingers were numb. This is why their wealth has a particular warmth. It is not just money for its own sake. It is rescue money, peace money, medicine money, earned to close the wound for themselves and for the people they love.
Before we climb farther, tell me who is listening. What is your date of birth, and which zodiac sign shapes your tides? Leave your birth date and your sign in the comments, not as a performance, but as a presence. I read what you write, I witness the day you first arrived, and I honor the archetype that still stands beside you. Secret 5. The art of silent focus. Capricorn deals in concentration like a jeweler deals in light. They do not announce every move because not every seed loves the sun. In a world screaming for attention, they protect the womb of their work. It's not secrecy born from fear, it's privacy born from stewardship. Energy, like money, leaks through needless exposure. Capricorn closes the windows, turns off the noise, and allows a single task to ripen into excellence. Silent focus becomes a frequency money recognizes. Here is a place where I will not be wasted. Secret 6. Value before visibility. Capricorn understands that attention without value is cotton candy, large in volume, thin in nourishment. They sell results, not promises. When they set a price, it is indexed to the transformation delivered or the burden lifted. They aren't seduced by the vanity of reach, they are married to the dignity of impact. Money, like a seasoned traveler, chooses the reliable inn where it sleeps well, wakes stronger, and gathers the courage to journey again. Capricorn becomes that inn. Sometimes this path looks lonely. While others post highlight reels, Capricorn is counting the small, honest wins. The document named Final 23, the 10th draft of the email that finally sings, the strategy that took 3 months and one long walk at dusk to reveal itself. There is quiet ache here, missed parties, unanswered invitations, a calendar that looks severe to casual eyes. Yet underneath is a tender resolve. I am building a future that will not shatter when the wind changes.
Halfway up the mountain, pause and feel your breath. If these words steady your pulse and remind you of your own sacred strength, tap like. It's a simple gesture that tells the algorithm there is medicine here, and it helps this message reach someone who is standing in a dark kitchen wondering if their discipline matters. Your like becomes a small lantern in someone else's night. Secret 7. Integrity as compounding interest. Reputation is an account that pays in every currency. Opportunities, referrals, forgiveness when you need it, guidance when you're lost. Capricorn tends this account like a garden. When they make a mistake, they own it quickly, repair it thoroughly, and learn publicly in subtle ways. This honesty compounds. Over time, doors open without knocking. Money trusts people who tell the truth faster than their fear. Secret 8. The strategy of limits. Capricorn does not chase every trend. They pick a lane and build a road. The world is vast. Focus is a compass. By saying no to 100 distractions, they say yes to momentum. Limits are not fences around freedom. They are the path that prevents you from wandering into quicksand. Capricorn chooses a few metrics that matter, a few relationships to pour into, a few offers that sing. Money is relieved by such clarity. It knows exactly how to contribute and where returns will be recycled into greater good. There is a spiritual ecology in this. When you stop scattering yourself, life stops scattering your harvest. You begin to notice which hours carry your genius, which clients carry your joy, which projects carry your future. You stop arguing with your nature, you promote it. Work becomes a river, less thrashing, more steering. And somewhere along the banks, money starts setting up camp, building little fires that keep the night gentle. Secret 9. Rituals that invite prosperity. Capricorn's rituals are not superstitions, they are agreements with the day. A tidy desk, a reliable morning, a pause for breath before the first call, a weekly review that names what grew and what withered, without self-loathing or denial, a budget that tells the truth, without shaming. These are acts of hospitality, preparing the guest room so prosperity feels welcome to stay the weekend, then the season, then the year. Capricorn knows that rituals do not constrict the soul, they free the soul from deciding the same things 1,000 times, reserving that energy for greatness.
Money responds to stewardship. When it arrives, Capricorn assigns it with tenderness and precision. These dollars to savings, these dollars to learning, these dollars to generosity, these dollars to play. Because joy is part of wealth, not a reward withheld until exhaustion burns out your wonder. The energy of money becomes calm in Capricorn hands, like a horse that stops rearing when someone finally understands the reins are not weapons. Secret 10. Network geometry. Capricorn's network is not loud, it is load-bearing. They develop relationships the way engineers design bridges, testing, strengthening, and distributing weight. They respect people's time, answer emails with completeness, and under-promise while over-delivering. Over years, this geometry holds. Call it luck if you wish. A partner appears precisely when the project needs one. A mentor returns a message at midnight. A client says, "We've been watching you." Money travels along these beams, finds these intersections, and anchors itself where character creates stable ground. If you have felt unseen for working this way, take this as recognition. You are not invisible, you are foundational. Foundations are rarely photographed, but everything rests upon them. The glamour that follows later will be honest, because it will be earned. And when it arrives, you will wear it lightly, as a traveler wears a good coat. Useful, warm, but never confused with the body beneath. Let's talk about the weather inside your chest. There are days when your discipline tastes like dust. Days when the spreadsheet looks like static. Days when someone's thoughtless comment about work-life balance stings because they never had to choose between rent and rest the way you did. On those days, Capricorn's prayer is simple. Let me remember why I began. Not to impress unseeing eyes, not to outrun an old fear, but to provide shelter for the child still living tenderly inside and to create a table long enough for others to eat.
And there will be moments, quiet, almost private, when money arrives with its shoes off. Not a dramatic lump sum, but the kind that pays things off early, that turns emergencies into inconveniences, that allows you to send a "don't worry, I've got it" text to someone who used to be you. This is how Capricorn heals a lineage. This is how they turn survival into stability, and stability into stewardship, and stewardship into blessing. If these insights are helping you breathe more slowly and imagine more bravely, remember to like this video. Your simple gesture keeps signs and secrets visible to the seekers who need a calm, clear voice amid the noise. Now, let's thread these 10 secrets into living cloth, something you can wear tomorrow. Begin with sacred ambition, write the vow. Not the 5-year fantasy, the one-line vow that can be kept before bedtime. Honor time alchemy by showing up for it daily. Watch tiny pennies of energy compound into a treasury of competence. Build your cathedral of structure. Put your hours in the stained glass and let sunlight turn your schedule into art. Become gravity with responsibility. Money falls toward those who steady the room. Hold silent focus like a candle no wind can find. Offer value before visibility. Let your contribution do the talking. Let integrity compound. The universe pays interest on truth. Practice the strategy of limits so your momentum looks like grace instead of grind. Make rituals that invite prosperity to stay. And tend your network geometry. not by collecting contacts, but by deepening alliances. Underneath every tactic is a spiritual conversation. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I do when it would be easier not to? How do I treat power when it finally rests in my hands? Capricorn's answer is the long yes. The yes to showing up, yes to being fair, yes to repairing what is broken, even if nobody claps. Wealth hears that yes and says, I can trust you with more.
Your future does not need fireworks to be real. It needs the holy friction of effort and the sacred oil of rest. It needs you to turn toward the thing and touch it every day. The manuscript, the client list, the skill, the seminar, the savings account, the stretch. It needs you to forgive yourself for what you didn't know and to protect the life you are learning to love. When you pass a mirror, nod at the one who kept going. That person is the asset. If the conversation we keep here nourishes your path, subscribe to Signs and Secrets so these teachings arrive when your courage dips and your strength needs remembering. And if this message eased your chest or sharpened your focus, like the video. Small signals create large ripples in the waters we share. In the last light of this night, let money be the echo of your meaning, not the master of your breath. Let your work become your offering. Let your offering make a home for blessings that arrive quietly, take off their shoes, and decide to stay.